President Scott, we just
frighten you that you're writing songs and thinking this is definitely going to be different?
No, I welcome that. I love that. I love it.
Yeah?
I love it. I mean, we've been together for 16 years. We have done all our growing up in front of people. We've done everything, all our changes, everything that we've done has been in public. And so there are two things that you can do. You can, every time that there are natural changes that happen to you, you can mask them and hide them from people, or you can just say, this is what it is, take it or leave it, but at least I'm being straight with you. We've always chosen the path of being straight with people, and every time we have naturally gone in some different direction than where we came from, we have always been very, this is where we're going now, and either come along for the ride, but don't damn us for it, because it's what we have to do. And I think that I always welcome that. I love change. As a person, not even as a member of Metallica, but just as a person, I try to be as open-minded as I can and welcome as many different approaches and opportunities. And I love going into a room and not knowing what is to be expected in there, and not knowing what will hit me when I walk in there, instead of always taking the same path.
I already decided what I'm going to call it. Whatever they print on it, that might be something else.
When the dog is hungry or needs to go pee-pee or poo-poo.
These children, they're not really bad, most of them. Just products of rotten neighborhoods and bad family situations.
Very plainly, very simply, we had these 30 songs or whatever, and we had planned on getting them all out together. As people became a little more casual, as we were, your first question, we were at home here in the sunshine, and people, well, I'm going to go 3 days out on the boat with my boys and get some girls and so forth, and I'll be back to record in a few days. Well, that happened quite a bit, and so, and it eventually takes place, and you got 3 months gone by, and you got 2 songs recorded. They're going, guys, we have to record 30 in 6 months, and you only got 2 in 3 months. Now, how's that going to be? So we said, okay, do the math, it's not going to work. So what happens is you pick, this song has guitar, this song has bass, this one has some vocals, this one has lyrics written, this one is this far along, this one is this far along. Okay, there's 12 or 13 that we can finish. These ones over here, this has only got a drum track, this has only got that, and these are going to have to wait. That's exactly as simply as it was. There was no any kind of A here, B here, worse, better, because, I mean, it's kind of obvious from the songs that you heard today, there is no worse or no better.
I think people will instantly hear that all these songs were written and developed at the same time as the stuff that you heard on Load last year. And you know, this is stuff that has just been not lying around that we're coming back to, but stuff we knew we wanted to develop and just sort of, it's a double album spread out over 2 separate records, spread out over a year and a half.
Sound-wise, there's a lot of new sounds. I think these songs are the more extreme songs left over from Load. When we recorded Load, I think when we started recording it, we went initially for the kind of easier to record songs to kind of get in the mood of being in the studio. Then we ran out of time, so all these songs are kind of the more wilder ones. Slower, heavier, faster. There's some more stripped down, kind of folksy stuff.
We've lived here this is where we made the last 3 records. It's great.
The last couple of years, because we've invested quite a bit in the studio. We went and rebuilt the whole place, raised ceilings and all that kind of thing. So it's worth it to us to keep going back there. It's very comfortable. We have a certain confidence and strength there. And getting to be at home and fix your own breakfast in the morning and feed your dogs and then drive your own car and that kind of thing people take for granted are very special to us.
My name is Randy Staub, and I'm the recording engineer on the album, and I'm mixing one of the songs.
It was very much a focused, deadline situation. The first time perhaps since Kill 'Em All or something that we had time restraints on making a record. And so everybody knew what we had to do. We knew the job, right? But you're absolutely right. I mean, I'd love to just hang out all day, of course.
Sonically, this album sounds a lot like Load, just because a lot of it was recorded at the same time. So it's generally it's in that same direction. Hopefully a little more livelier. They wanted to go for kind of a rock and roll band kind of feel, so hopefully it's more like that.
You got to get up early in the morning and do your stuff, like bike ride and all that kind of thing, get all your endorphins rolling, enjoy the day, then go in with a good attitude. What's got to be done has got to be done. Certainly there's times when you walk in and you're going, man, I really like to play ball today or whatever. When you come back out and it's dark again.
This button right here, that's the reason for the new Metallica sound. If I turn it just like that, then it completely changes everything. Now it's a different record. That right there is the key. That's the button. So if you like Load, thank that button. If you don't like Load, it's that button's fault.
It's still metal, and like I said before, it's a little bit more than metal. Metallica can be, yes, we are heavy music, but we expand it. And you heard today the diversity that's there, and we do try to cover a lot of ground and keep on moving forward and keep trying to take chances and things like that. That's what it's all about for us, proving it to ourselves. I mean, we don't have anything to prove to anybody else. It's already done. But to prove to ourselves so we can keep doing it and keep making music that is listenable to us, that's in a year from now we're going to be able to go, that's good, that's strong, man, it's musical,
I want the 2 records to be viewed as one word, or one, it is 30 songs from a specific time period. It's not the next album. It is sort of the finish, the finishing. It brings the Load thing to a natural end or full circle or whatever. It's the last 15 songs from that, and I think people will instantly recognize that these songs were written and recorded with the same approach as Load was.
So tell me open, pour me out the things inside that scream and shout, and the pain still hates me, so hold me until
Trying to top yourself is kind of once you really strive to do that, it's kind of a losing battle, really. Just trying something different is probably a better way to go. The success of the Black record, it will never top that. I mean, why try? We're very happy with where that peaked, Now let's, instead of trying to stay on the peak, we'll run around the mountain a while.
When the dog is hungry.
And we say something, but we're not there to preach. I'm not taking any stances politically, socially, anything.
These children, they're not really bad, most of them.
Marianne Faithfull, that was really interesting. We'd heard this kind of weathered female voice, you know, and Bob says, you know, Bob Rock, the producer, Marianne Faithfull, sure, let's get a hold of her. That was a challenge right there. Let's get her. So Lars and I flew over on the way. We did some summer shows over in Europe, and on the way there, we, with tape in hand, you know, through the X-ray machine, went to Dublin. She showed up, had a few bottles of wine, went out there, smoked a ciggy, sang the bit, perfect. She just wanted to know what the song was about, and you know, we weren't taking the piss out of her or anything. It was, she definitely creates a great character and mood. She's got awesome character in her voice. I mean, you could smell the cigarettes on her voice on some of her CDs. It's awesome. We had a hurdy-gurdy guy from the city. Look up in the yellow pages, hurdy-gurdy man, hey, he's there. Invite him over, you know. There's a lot of old school Metallica on this. There's a old song called Fish Tank Now. I mean, we got all these stupid working titles. Lenny, which is I think called Sweat now. Little more simple, kind of more aggressive rock songs. Longer, big, fat, Sabbathy type riffs like on Fixer and things like that are quite Metallica. I mean, it's all Metallica we're playing, but. Unforgiven 2 kind of came about writing a new, well, every time you pick up a different kind of guitar, you play it differently. And I had this B-bender guitar, which you hear on some of the other songs. The first passage I played, I kind of got this cool thing going. I wrote a vocal line, and then I realized that it was really exactly like Unforgiven. So, but the vocal pattern was different. And I tried to sneak it by everyone as something else. Why hide it, you know? We can rip ourselves off. Come on.
Didn't have any on Load. This is my one song from the Load writings, actually. And that's why it is so different, is because I wrote the song on guitar and I don't play guitar. And so it's very unorthodox, and it's not, and the chords are improper and that kind of thing, so it sounds a little bit weird. And for Metallica, that is weird, because usually Kurt figures everything out, all proper theory and everything. So that the textures and the moods that go about it and changes singing, you know, application to that, and just the way it goes up and down and changes hands and that kind of thing within itself, it's a bit of a different composition than we've ever done.
That's kind of based around the innocence of a child and, you know, a sleeping baby, you know, just kind of telling this baby that, you know, you're in for a big surprise, my friend. The other line is, so wake up, sleepy one, it's time to save your world. Because there's so many things that are wrong out here, and everyone's trying to fix them. So in your own way, when you get in your adulthood, you're trying to fix your little section of life. I think a lot of people assume that it's me. When I write the lyrics, they assume it's me. In a way, I'm, at the end of the day, probably deep, way back in my head, it's me. But I'm trying to go somewhere else. Cut this rope and let us run. That pretty much speaks for itself. We want freedom, and a lot of people think they know what's best for Metallica. That lyric itself, out of Fixer, the whole song's kind of based on a voodoo thing. It kind of intrigued me that, at the end of the day, we're all kind of like voodoo dolls, and we feel good, and then get stuck with a pin every once in a while, and it kind of brings you down to earth, and you realize that, hey, things can happen to you.
Fortune's fame, mirror vein, gone insane, but the memory remains.
There's some of them you can tell it's Metallica, like right now, and there's some that, because of the vocal application and different things like that, you're going, wow, is that Metallica? Wow, they were really going places, and that's different, that's new, that sounds like 97, man, that's fresh. So the one thing that I had some concern about early on, that we wrote these songs so long ago, and then we walk around with them for a year, and are they going to kick your ass? Are they still going to be good when you go to play them next time? Well, they were better than I thought they were going to be, and since we'd already done the legwork and they were memorized, we were able to go in and just, I know where I'm going, I know where I'm going, and it's like very comfortable, and the song's done. For me, it worked out that I was able to just go in and get the sound that I wanted for that certain song. I'd tell Bob I was ready. He'd come in, we'd turn it on. 40 minutes later, the song's done. There wasn't any kind of like days and days of hundreds of takes. It was like, I'm ready. The sound is good. Let's play this. The performance, if there's a little spot here that's not good, a little spot there that's not good, Willie Dixon would say, that's real, that's music, you let it be. And so that's what I did. Let it be whatever happened, whatever came out. At that 10 minutes of time, that's what you guys are going to hear forever.
Behind your back, can't the family on? Just listen, they play my song. Ash to ash, dust to dust, fade to black. Fortune, fame, mirror vein, gone insane. Fortune, fame, mirror vein, gone insane. Damn, Lucy's got it.
When the dog is hungry.
I enjoy playing, but I don't enjoy traveling as much as I used to.
These children are not really bad, most of them.
We basically took up the whole floor of an arena, kind of like the hockey space. The hockey dashers were pretty much the barricades. So it's kind of like the crowd was caged in, and we had full reign. We walk out, slap some hands, get on stage with the house lights on, start gigging, jamming. Halfway through the first song, lights come on, hurrah, the band, Play 2.5 hours. There's an acoustic bit. There's quite a few explosions. A guy catches on fire, things fall apart, which is kind of making fun of ourselves in a way that the machine is too big. We come back out with little amps and jam in a little closed area like we started in the garage. the guys would swing from the truss after something happened. He'd swing, and then he got in real into this. He had, you know, the blood packs in his hand. He was cracking and breaking. Oh, blah blah. So I saw a puddle of blood. Wow, that looks real great. Well, it really is real. Oh. You know, he came back to the next show with staples in his head. You know, he'd swung into the PA, and one of the explosions actually went off on one of the guys at a sound check when he was checking them. And, you know, a few things. It wasn't the safest show. That's the way we like it. They were such great actors, you couldn't tell anymore. He's like, oh, good acting. You know, I'm hurt. Yeah, great, dude. You know, here's bonus. No, really? Can I get an ambulance? Oh, good effect. Being part of the show, I mean, the crew was set up in the middle of the stage. You know, they're tuning guitars. We're not hiding anything, you know. They could see what was going on. They were just digging it, you know. Screaming, falling, blah, blah, blah. It was pretty cool. Diamond tour, which we did on the Black record, kind of got the idea going of getting the crowd closer as possible, or close as possible, you know, crowd in the middle, a lot of contact. We went crazy with that idea, which was great. And I'm not sure what will happen next time. There's a lot of different types of typical fans. You know, you like the band for different reasons. The aggressive songs, you know, see younger kids there for them. Older metal generation, you know, still love to hear the Fight Fires and things. Newer people want Sandman. There's a lot of, you know, kids with their parents bring their kids, and vice versa. It's pretty mixed out there. And I think I love GEA shows because people can get up front if they want. You know, people who aren't into the aggressive bit so much, they stand back. And it's quite a mixture, and it's pretty great. You see some people singing along. They know every damn lyric, and other people are clueless.
Yeah. New fans, though. Yeah.
Well, there's real music fans, and then just fans that have heard Sandman on the radio.
Yeah.
So tear me open, pour me out. The things inside that scream and shout, and the pain still hates me. So hold me until it's
Metallica wants to play for anyone that will have them, and we have gone for many years doing that kind of thing, playing any place, bending over backwards to go to places so people could see us. And we did have an offer for India for the next tour, and we will be going there. It probably won't work out where we were going to do it earlier in the year, but we want to do it this distance. It will be the first time when we go there. We're going to make it an event, and we're going to go and we're going to enjoy the place. We're going to learn something from the culture, and we're going to go and play a few shows so that people get a good dose of Metallica. And since they have been waiting for, what, a dozen years or 15 years to hear this music, then we're going to give it to them, and give it to them good, you know, that's the whole thing. And it's just another place that we haven't conquered, and we certainly are very determined to play every place, every place. When China opens up, we're there. When, you know, any place that will have Western music.
Tonight.